That's 1, 3, 6 and 2 for the ratings. And here's the market for the first. It's a 2-year-old race. Only one of them have raced previously. That's number 5, Gemma Butterfly, but all others are on debut. The favourite in New Zealand is number 1, Akasita at $2.80, and the first race is coming up in 18 minutes. We're about to move in for race 1. Here's Tony.
Down the straight here, $2.80, $1.25. It's a big strong horse by Cape Cross, and yes, the Stravinsky runner number 2, Alinsky, 4:10, 165, aloof the half to this horse, has been able to win this, I think 2 years ago, from the same stable to Lindsay Hoffman to do the riding. Cape Cross 20 winners in the Northern Hemisphere, and Stravinsky's had 19 already, so proving themselves to be very, very good stallions, and there's plenty of interest around this. Acupuncture is a powerhouse. Very, very fast looking horse. $5, $1.75, and it's got the great name, isn't it? Been by Pins out of Quack, Warren Bolton, local trainer here. And identity and now comedian with Acupuncture, this horse here. So we've just got 3 to come in, and they are Akachita, Alinsky, so the 2 favourites, with the one that's had the race day experience, Gemma Butterfly, to come in, Andre.
Race, and as mentioned, the stock of Cape Cross and Stravinsky on display in the Southern Hemisphere or New Zealand for the first time, and looking forward to Akachita and Alinsky. No doubt the Cambridge stud team are all glued to the television sets in Cambridge this afternoon as they look forward to this event. 2:30, 1:30 for Akachita, Alinsky at $4.15 and $1.50 in Acupuncture. The filly by Pins is at $5.30, $1.90. Just a note of the riders, the first, they're all okay. There was 3 riders who fell in the first and all okay. Isaac Lupton, Joanne Rathbone, and of course Chris Allen. Let's get it all. The New Zealand Curious Dash, 400 metres, don't blink. Here's Tony Lee.
Butterfly is gone and we're ready. Akachita, the favourite, is drawn gate 3. Black Mauve armbands, cab off. And running, caught it okay. Akachita, a bit of carnage though. Beginning the best was Alinsky. Look at that fire out of the gates from Gemma Butterfly. Akachita 3 lengths away. Alinsky is firing them up. Great guns here by 3 lengths. Acupuncture out wide is starting to rip home. And Gemma Butterfly closer to the inside. Alinsky's in front. Look at Acupuncture fly, but the Stravinsky delivers first up. Alinsky got it. Acupuncture, amazing effort to get that close after a bit of trouble at the start, has been second, and then Gemma Butterfly. Spinlin, Ivana Lanus was the next. Akachita just inside of those with Tuscany Dancer. Crash and bash early all over the place, but Alinsky came out straight and true, the son of Stravinsky and the Wondermere Alinda, and of course the half aloof has been able to win this very same race. I think the first ever running of it, and has been too good. All right, let's have a look at the replay. Strong, isn't it? Down to the line, but how good Acupuncture. Wouldn't mind seeing the jump from this, and you can watch those colours second. Just made some ground over the 400 metres. It's nearly done the impossible, but Alinsky, more professional, too good. Acupuncture second. Yes, that race day experience stood by Gemma Butterfly has been the third. Spinlin, Ivana Lanus next, and then we had Tuscany Dancer, and Akachita, who was in a bit of that crash and dash early, was just in behind them. So cream comes to the top, Andre.
Racing Sydney, New Zealand Curious Dash. 2, 3, 5.
2, 3, 5. Placings are official on the first, and that was a quick dash all over, well, in less than 30 seconds, like a barrier trial, even shorter than a trial. Alinsky, number 2, a gelding by Stravinsky, trained by Alan Jones, who's had a lot of success with these horses in New Zealand, and quite often when he brings one across to Australia.
So many pieces still unsold, you're not quite who you think you are. You see the symptoms from a...
First race at Rosehill coming up in 7 minutes' time. Many of these riders have been at Newcastle during the week for the big carnival. The Cameron on Wednesday taken out by Archivet, and the Newcastle Cup on Thursday taken out by Comforts. John Hawkes and Corey Brown combined for another win in the Newcastle.
Talking about Live by the Sword, he's a lovely horse. And in he goes. His Far Was, another nice type coming up. And Henderson Bay will be the last to move in, a Sydney Cup winner. And he had one run back from a spell, and he gave a huge sight at Wyong in the Magic Mile, won by Diarman. He ran second, of course, Henderson Bay. Okay, well, we're set for the first of 8 races on an interesting day here at Rosehill Gardens. Gates are back, and there they go in the first, and Spading first away. Live by the Sword second, then Chrysler Mirage, Kingston Classic, Henderson Bay Far Was, and immediately Beaver drops to the rear of the field. At the end of 250 metres, and Spading, he's over racing in the lead. He's about 3/4 to a length on Live by the Sword. 2.5 lengths further back is Chrysler Mirage. Kingston Classic over on the fence from Henderson Bay Far Was the inside, and 3 lengths to Beaver. They work their way to the back of the track now, past the 1500, and Spading with his mouth wide open. He's 1.5 lengths Live by the Sword, who's settled much better than the leader. Third, Kingston Classic. He wants to pull and reef a little, followed by Chrysler Mirage. Far Was the inside of Henderson Bay, and 3 lengths to Beaver. No change going down the back of the course, and past the 1200 they sweep now, and the leader is Spading. About 1.5 lengths on the New Zealander Live by the Sword in the Sunline colours. 2 lengths to Kingston Classic, and neck to Chrysler Mirage. Far Was reefing for rain inside Henderson Bay, and still last another 3 away. Beaver out of the back, past the 900 they travel, and Spading under a throttle hold in front by about 1 length to 3/4 of a length on Live by the Sword, just niggling away at Spading as they go past the 800. 2.5 to Kingston Classic, and 1/2 to Chrysler Mirage, and then Far Was on the inside of Henderson Bay, and another 4 or so lengths, and hard-ridden Beaver as they come along to the 550, and Spading given rain now. 1/2 length on Live by the Sword. Kingston Classic is parked right behind them, 2 away, and then Chrysler Mirage, Far Was, Henderson Bay and Beaver. They straighten up, and Live by the Sword runs up to Spading and put his head in front. Far Was getting up on the inner, and then Kingston Classic followed by Chrysler Mirage. They race to the 200, and Far Was right along the rails hits the front. Chrysler Mirage second. The favourites are history. It's Far Was in front, 75 to go. He's holding Chrysler Mirage. Oh, he's run off the track. Far Was, and I tell you what, there won't be much between Far Was and Chrysler Mirage on the line. He should have won Far Was by a length. Well, Live by the Sword, Spading and Beaver not all that far away from Henderson Bay. Far Was, what did he do in the last 50 metres? He was going to win by probably, I say a length, maybe 3/4 of a length. I'm just having a look at this replay here. Jimmy's giving him a few cracks with the whip in the right hand, and then all of a sudden he seems to change stride, and Chrysler Mirage came at him, and on the line, I tell you what, there won't be much in this. You know what the Rosehill angle's like, folks. And this is deadly close. The freeze on the course pictures I'm watching is a fraction past the mirror. So it still indicates that the outside horse has got a chance, but have to go Far Was. Here's the number coming up. Yeah, it's got it. Number 5 is the winner, Far Was, written by Jimmy Cassidy. Number 5, Far Was, Jimmy Cassidy first. Number 2, Chrysler Mirage, written by Larry Cassidy second. Number 6, Kingston Classic, written by Len Beasley, was third. And number 7 ran fourth, Live by the Sword, Glenn Boss. So, the favourites, the 3 of them, it was thought to be a dead set race in 3, and they couldn't do any better than where they finished. 5, 2, 6 and 7. The official tote dividends read this way. Far Was, $15 and $5.40. Number 2, $8.90. No third. Quinella, $68.40. Exacta, $97.40. Trifecta, $1,045.20. The first 4, 5, 2, 6, 7, $2,730 neat. The spinner on the mixed has paid $1.30. The winning margin was the barest. It was a nose. By golly, don't we have some tight finishes these days? A nose it was, 1 length and 3/4. The time was 2:2.77. The race and the class record will now go to the credit of the winner. The course record to Dane win at octagonal, 1:59.99, and sectionally 35.01. Well, Spading led. Nothing else was keen to lead, so he had no other alternative, Ronnie Stewart, than to lead on Spading. Boss sat at his quarters, about 3/4 a length away on Live by the Sword, and Kingston Classic had a nice run behind the speed. The 3 of them couldn't do anything in the straight, and Far Was has beaten another roughie in Prize La Mirage. Race 2 today. And in the second, Rodney Quinn on 6 I'm on a high, a field of 10 to run. And it'll be interesting to see what price is going to be bet about Casino Night.
All right, Ian, thank you. Well, that's a good start for the Rogerson stable with the Quinella in race 1. And, of course, Graham will be hoping for a return to form for the Golden Slipper winner, Polar Success, a little bit later on. Maybe the return to Rosehill as well. Saturday meeting at Sandown, Sunday meeting at Caulfield. It's a big weekend of racing in Melbourne. Here's Greg Miles for the first.
Yes, the hurdle gets racing on this big weekend underway, the Sharpaz hurdle, and the favourite is King Laker. I know they're pretty keen about his chances. He's got 68. He's gone up in the weights and the limits dropped, so particularly Calcavecchi has got a big swing in the weights on him, but he's a very solid favourite in the first on the program. Mola the easing second elect, then out to Calcavecchi at Trafalgar Flyer and Young Maverick for this first on the card. Track improving to good with the very strong winds that whipped across the state yesterday. They did have some 19 millimetres, 1.2 falling yesterday in the storm, but so windy that the track just continued to dry, which is terrific news and a good rated track for the meeting tomorrow as well. Now they're starting to call them up. Starting to call them in now for the first. And Joe McKinnon from Sky Channel joining us as well. Thanks, Joe. Getting ready for the first, where the solid favourite is King Laker, ahead of Mola, who's easy. Calcavecchia steady through betting as third elect, and then Trafalgar Flyer and Young Maverick. Good rated track, 5.02 the penetrometer. Tomorrow at Caulfield, the revised Peno there, 4.04, so it's come down again from yesterday's. I think it was 4.37, so down to 4.04. And a very firm surface for the big meeting with the dual Group 1 races at Caulfield tomorrow. Now, most of them ready. The grey Tramina Miss has moved into her place, started going to the platform now. Going in as Trafalgar Flyer. Next up then will be Calcavecchia, and King Laker has the outside stall, the favourite. Craig Durden on board. Horse has only had the 3 hurdle starts, 2 wins and a second. And he's about to come up now and complete the lineup. So in he goes. The favourite is locked in. They jump 10 hurdles on their journey of 3,100 metres. Set to go, race 1. Track good, 5.02. Rail is true. They're racing in the first. And Mola jumping fast on the inside with Trafalgar Flyer, Calcavecchia. King Laker let them go in the early stages, sitting off the pace. Here's the first of 10 looming up now. Mola jumping it in front as they settle down. Ballyvaughn's got back. Tramina misses at the tail end of the field. Second hurdle, Mola from Trafalgar Flyer. Calcavecchia third. Young Maverick 2 lengths away in the orange colours is running fourth. And as they came up to the turn, Ballyvaughn's is around him. King Laker just finding his feet, settling back to the end, and Tramina misses last of all. Mola goes away with a nice lead round the turn the first time, and he's going to run down the dip about 2 to 3 lengths in front. Trafalgar Flyer is in second. Calcavecchia is holding third the outside. Next Ballyvaughn's, Young Maverick, and King Laker second last on the outside of Tramina Miss. First of a treble, Mola jumping it well, landing by about 2 lengths Trafalgar Flyer. Calcavecchia third the outside. Young Maverick next on the inside of Ballyvaughn's. King Laker next to last. And back last of all is Tramina Miss. Mola over the next hurdle. He's jumping well in the early stages today. He leads by about 2 lengths, scraping his ground right along the nose. You'll have to lift that when you come to the next hurdle, fella. Mola in front by about 1.5 lengths. Trafalgar Flyer in second placing as he goes over that one. A lovely leap by the leader again. Calcavecchia is third the outside. 3 lengths further back is Ballyvaughn's outside Young Maverick. And then as they leave the straight is King Laker second last and Tramina Miss last. And they've really jogged through the first part of the race at the 1,800 metres now, and in the slowly run affair so far, Mola by 2, Calcavecchia outside Trafalgar Flyer, 2 lengths away Ballyvaughn's, who's on the outside of Young Maverick, and King Laker next to last with Tramina Miss. It's been no change since they settled down at the 1,600 metres. Mola 2 for 2 over the jumps, is going down the back straight, about to meet a treble, the first of them coming up. He's 1.5 lengths on Calcavecchia and Trafalgar Flyer, 3 lengths away in the field then is Ballyvaughney, 1400 to go. Young Maverick is inside. King Laker still second last with Tramina Miss about to take off around him. At the next, Mola Mola, there's a little mistake from the leader that time. Led Trafalgar Flyer and Calcavecchia. Next, Ballyvaughney 4 on the outside is Tramina Miss. Young Maverick the inside. King Laker now last of all as they leap that hurdle. He just clipped it a bit too, but he's only about 5 lengths off the leader, and Durden's going for runs between horses when they're about to come off the back. Mola Mola at the 1,000 by a length. Calcavecchia from Trafalgar Flyer. Tramina Miss went to 4. King Laker a length and a half away, 5th now. And then Ballyvaughney second last and Young Maverick on the inside. They put the 800 behind them. Mola Mola by a length and 3/4 from Tramina Miss on the outside of Trafalgar Flyer, and Calcavecchia's 4th now. Then King Laker. Young Maverick getting up on the inside. Ballyvaughney drops out last. Mola Mola comes around the turn and he's got 2 to get over. They enter the straight now at the 500. And it's Mola Mola by about 2 lengths. Trafalgar Flyer. King Laker's in clear and he's running on down the outside, and Young Maverick's coming with an inside run. Mola Mola at the second last, over it in front of Young Maverick. King Laker the outside and Trafalgar Flyer a 4-way go. This is a beauty. They've got 1 to get over, and Young Maverick drives up on the inside, and from last he's hit the front. Young Maverick with Mola Mola. King Laker taking an eternity to wind up outside Trafalgar Flyer. Young Maverick, Mola Mola coming back. Young Maverick and Mola Mola, they go to the line. This is very, very close. It'll be noses here. On the inside, Young Maverick and Mola Mola, not too sure. Trafalgar Flyers run the 3rd, and King Laker just close up 4th. They got right away to Calcavecchia, and then came Ballyvaughney and Tramina Miss. Well, Young Maverick looked certain to win when he took the lead near the 200, but Mola Mola wouldn't be denied, and it's a photo finish. Very, very close. They're out of sync, the 2 heads, so it's virtually impossible to be sure. Young Maverick the inside, Mola Mola on the outside, and it looks like Mola Mola might get this looking at the judge's photo. I think he might get it, Mola. It's been a fighting performance if he has, and it's just got a bob in right on the post. That might have got him victory here. Time is 3 minutes and 14. Mola Mola the outside, Young Maverick on the inside, and Mola Mola's got it. Wayne Smith clearly headed. He's come back to win. Young Maverick has run second. Stephen Pateman, what a great start to the day's racing. Terrific photo in the first. And the 3rd number about to be semaphore. 3 Mola Mola, making it 3 out of 3 in his hurdle career, beating Young Maverick second, Stephen Pateman. He got bobbed out of a photo finish in Adelaide too at his last start, so surely his turn with the camera won't be too far away. He's run the second, and I think it was Trafalgar Flyer 3rd, but the judge is having some... There it is, 4's got the 3rd placing. That's Trafalgar Flyer. 3, 8 and 4. 4th in, number 1, King Laker, and 5th was number 2, Calcavecchia. They've run 3 minutes and 14 in the first.
All right, Greg, we'll leave it there. Great finish to the hurdle. Race 1 at Sandown. Molo Molo, after wins at Moe and Bendigo, has picked up a hurdle in town. He deserved one. That's Sandown, and we've got Cheltenham coming up next. The first race due in about 4.5 minutes' time. And they're getting around to the start. The popular pick, there he is, Stamen number 2. They'll be moving in soon. Masquerado, who won the Gloaming Stakes 12 months ago at Rosehill, is tightening up to $7.20. Casino night there at 190's holding the call. After Sydney, back to Brisbane, race 2, Eagle Farm, where Rahira's the favourite ahead of Bales and Up the Bid. 3 ahead of 1 and 2.
1,500 the journey of race 2 out of Rosehill Gardens. They're racing. Catch a Jib missed it by a length or so, and I'm on a high as the early leader from the grey King of Soul. A length and a half away, 3rd is Fastways. Peak Gemma handy 4th, then Masquerado inside Casino Night. Interbank Catcher making up some ground. Mission Statement next to last, and Barbara back to the rear. At the end of 350, I'm on a high as the leader. 2nd is King of Soul. Travelling 3rd is Peak Gem, followed by Fastways, who's caught a little wide as they go onto the first corner. 2 to Casino Night. Around Masquerado Masquerado, and then Catcher on its inside as Interbank from Mission Statement and Barbara. 10 or 12 lengths covers them onto the side, and nearing the 800 pole, it's I'm on a High, clear from King of Soul. Third posse taken by Peak Gem, and a length further back is Fast Ways. 2 Masquerado, the second pick on the inside of the hot pot by Ascot Knight, and referring, of course, to Casino Night. And a length and a half into Interbank, and down its outside Catcher, endeavouring to make some ground. Barbara second last, and Mission Statements last. I'm on a High, the clear leader from King of Soul as they swing around the corner. Now let's look for Casino Night. He's running about third last, one off the outside, and he's starting to extend now as King of Soul reaches I'm on a High. Masquerado coming, and here is Casino Night putting in long strides. He's gathering in Masquerado and King of Soul, and as they come to the 150, Casino Night put his neck clear. He's racing on with it. Barbara from a mile back, battling on Masquerado, will hold second probably, but Casino Night wins it. Casino Night from Masquerado, and on the outside Barbara, followed by King of Soul, and then I'm on a High, Interbank, Mission Statement, Peak Gem from Catcher, and last Fastways. Casino Night the winner, number 4, ridden by Glenn Boss. Barbara came home well in that. He was ridden back in the field this afternoon. That probably suited him. And battling on pretty well for second, Masquerado. But number 4 has won it pretty well, really, Casino Night. And I think that this son of Ascot Knight from the Natsuki mare Kimataku, when the races step up in distance beyond 1500, I think he's going to be a little bit more adept, particularly if he can get races where they're on good tracks and a little bit of pace. 4, 1, 2 and 8 officially here. Number 4, Casino Night, Glenn Boss the winner. Number 1 is second, Masquerado, ridden by Hugh Bowman. Number 2, Barbara third, handled by Darren Beedman. And number 8 was fourth, King of Soul, Danny Beasley. The tote dividends, $1.70, $1.20 for number 4, Casino Night. $2 for number 1, Masquerado. $1.90 for number 2, Barbara. Quinella, $5.30. Exacta, $7.10. Trifecta, $29.20. First 4, $606.20. The spinner on the mixed, $1.50. And the time for the race was 1 minute 28.90. 1:28.90. That's a class record. Call Me Henry held the previous, 1:29.13. Shindig's the course record holder, 1:27.21. And 34.96 sectional time. 34.96 on the margins. A length by a short half head. Winner returning now, Casino Night, and those watching on Sky, you can see he's an outstanding individual. He's a very, very attractive racehorse, and he's going to win his connections quite a deal of money. He's raced by J. Gregg, D.N., D. Brennan, A. Everett, S. McClintock and M. Orr, trained by Guy Walter and handled by Glenn Boss. So, the favourite home in race number 2. Third of the day, and a most interesting race. Can Hasner return to the winner's circle at this her second run? This preparation, many think she will, and the Heritage Stakes at 140.
All right, Ian, thank you. The same could be said for the other filly, Polar Success. Can she return to the winner's circle? The slipper winner from earlier this year. They're matching up in the Heritage Stakes next. Now at Eagle Farm, runners are just heading out. Here's Larry with the late
coming event. What chance do you give it?
Yeah, I give her a real good chance today, Alf. She's a very highly strung little horse. 1,500 metres today, I'll suit her down to the ground. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of speed on. She'll drift back a little bit, but she'll be hitting.
He does go up big time in the weights, up some 9 kilos. He had the claim last time out. Limits come up as well, which has helped him a bit. So, in reality, up some 6.5 kilos. It's going to be an essay for him, no doubt, but he does hold favouritism, even though he's drifted at nearly every call. Sweet Corner's the second pick. She has had good support. Third favouritism with One Unbridled Smile narrowly ahead of our Sun Tripper, who will appreciate the dry ground, and then Tantralite, who's been easy. Archbishop is ready. Sweet Corn goes in next to Après Ski, who has the inside stall. They're coming along well. This is our Sun Tripper. Stephen Arnold's one ride for the day, coming up into the stalls. 3, 8 and 4 in the first. Molla Molla scoring officially by a nose. 3 out of 3. Over the jumps now. Now moving up is Portrice for Craig Newitt, goes in. Tantralite to come along. Be his first start for Ross McDonald, with Leon Corsten serving suspension now. It was an excellent run at Bendigo last time out, which was in a Metro class race. All of Me coming up into the stalls. Led them up in that race I referred to. Unbridled Smile and Buckingham the last two. Unbridled Smile, it's been a little while since he's won a race. I think the dry track just might help him sort things out, and he has a 5 kilo pull on Buckingham, who's in there now. Buckingham joined by Unbridled Smile, so they're set to run for the Matrice. All in 1500 race 2, they're away. All of Me just a little bit slow to move. Buckingham began well, and so did Sweet Corn Après Ski. In the early stages, Archbishop goes on. Our Sun Tripper's up there, and so is Unbridled Smile. As they settle into stride, they make a line of about 5 or 6 right across the track still. In behind them is Buckingham, Portrice and Tantralite last. By the 1200, Our Sun Tripper finds the lead now. At about a head in front only to Après Ski with the inside. Unbridled Smile doing some work early is up there third on the outside. As they run off the back, All of Me is about a half a length away fourth. 2 lengths to Sweet Corn, just wanting to get ahead up a little bit. Then Archbishop followed by Portrice, Buckingham second last and 1 to Tantralite. 10 from the leader at the 800. Our Sun Tripper in front. In second placing is Unbridled Smile, a length and a half. Après Ski third on the inside of All of Me. Then Archbishop in the yellow colours out 3 white. Portrice on the rail, and then came Sweet Corn, Tantralite and Buckingham last. As they come around the turn, Our Sun Tripper with a narrow lead over Unbridled Smile, and on the outside is All of Me. Après Ski behind the leader trying to get a run through, and then Sweet Corn running on fairly, and back behind them Buckingham trying to get a run through. Archbishop and Tantralite the widest at the 300, and Unbridled Smile put the head in front. Sweet Corn comes with a burst and joins it now, and then Our Sun Tripper. Buckingham winds up out wide, and next is Tantralite. Sweet Corn, Buckingham pegging it back. Sweet Corn in front of Buckingham on the outside. Sweet Corn the mare gives plenty in the run home, and Sweet Corn beat Buckingham by about a long neck. Portrice third on the inside, just in front of Tantralite, and then Unbridled Smile, Archbishop, Après Ski, Our Sun Tripper and All of Me last in. Victory for Sweet Corn, number 7, ridden by Brett Preble, trained by Lee Friedman at Rye. She just got shuffled back through the field at one stage, but she's come with a strong run, hitting the front near the 200 metres from Our Sun Tripper and Unbridled Smile, and then she's held out the finish of Buckingham to win. Number 7, Sweet Corn first, Brett Preble. 1 Buckingham second, ridden by Greg Childs, and 9 third Portrice, ridden by Craig Newitt, just in advance of Tantralite, who's finished 4th, and 5th in the event went to Unbridled.
The one chance and deserves to be that.
Well, it's a cavalcade of chances today, and I'm sure you're going to come up trumps.
Well, I hope we can. I hope we can come up trumps to a few of them.
Thanks, Gay.
Thank
Good luck.
you.
Gay Waterhouse.
He does so now. Ready. Racing in the Heritage, beautiful start. Hasna poked ahead in front, not for long. Sticks and Stones and Best Northern beat her off, and going up quickly, Polar Success. Settling down now, Sticks and Stones and Best Northern lead a length, Polar Success. A length and a half solid as a rock around Hasna, 3 Olympus and a half length Lariata. Down past the 800 they travel, and Best Northern is the leader. About a half length or so now, Sticks and Stones, and third posse a length and 3/4 away, Polar Success. Dan Beasley had a quick peep to the right and saw Hasna a length and a half behind him on the fence, and then solid as a rock Olympus and 2.5 to Lariata. This is the order down to the corner, and Best Northern in front. First up today for new trainer Paul Perry, and Best Northern a length and a half. Sticks and Stones is second. Hasna bailed away third from Polar Success. Or Polar Success is rider Danny Beasley holding in Lenny Beasley on Hasna, but Lenny's getting into the clear on the favourite now. In the meantime, the Queenslander Sticks and Stones got to the front, but Hasna's picking her up quickly, and Lariata, the country filly's running a big race. Forget Polar Success, but Hasna races clear, and the 2-year-old of the year for last season is clearing out Hasna from Lariata, and Hasna a brilliant performance to win it. Hasna from Lariata and Sticks and Stones, Olympus, Polar Success, and then solid as a rock, and Best Northern gave up meekly to finish last. She's a very, very good filly, isn't she? Number 6, Hasna. And Danny Beasley on Polar Success did everything possible to hold Lenny Beasley in on Hasna, but she bullet clear the little filly by snippets, Hasna, and she's as tough as they come. Little war horse, and she's right back into the form she displayed in the halcyon part of the autumn season, which saw her, of course,